Well, hey everybody, if you don't know this beside me, this is Hannah Pisa. If you haven't met her yet, for many of you, she's going to be familiar to you, but it's my privilege to get to introduce you to our new Tiny Steps director. She's going to be kind of the one piloting the ship for those ages 0 to 4, for babies, for toddlers, up to the age of 4 till they transition into Takuma Island. And if you kind of think, oh, she's kind of familiar, you've seen her on the worship team, you've seen her as a part of our Takuma Island ministry, coordinating our Vacation Bible School, doing an awesome job with that. And also now lately she's taken over leadership, partnering with Pastor Pauline, leading our junior high youth group on Tuesday nights here at the building. And I'd just love for them to hear from you a little bit. What was going through your heart? What was going through your mind when you knew that we were looking to fill a position that Rachel had vacated and surrendered because she was in a transition season in their life? And we knew we would have to carry this ministry forward. What was going through you to say, you know what, I want to submit my name for that role?
Initially, when it was first announced, I was like, well, I could do that. And then just really thinking and praying about it, God really placed on my heart that, yeah, I can do that. That birth to teenager really is my thing. Not just the school kids, not just the teenagers, but the whole thing is my thing. And really being able to step into this role, and from when these babies come to the first time, the church babies come, having them have a place to belong, having their families have a place where they have a resource, not just watching them during church, but being able to have people to support them and be there for them, and hopefully sometime get where they can have maybe some groups during the week to be able to come with their kids and not feel alone. And I think as a parent, we often feel alone, and that's really what God placed on my heart, that this is a family ministry, not just the nursery.
That's good. Share with everybody, you know, they may not know some of your background, but you've spent an entire career working with kids directly.
Yeah.
So you worked in healthcare, share that with people.
So I've been in healthcare, pediatric nurse for 8 years, followed by a pediatric nurse practitioner for 8 years. So my entire career in healthcare has been with children. But before that, actually, I'm the youngest of 8 kids. So everything comes in eights right now in my life. That's how it ends up. So at 8 years old, I became an aunt for the first time. I had a nephew. And so pretty much since I've been 8 years old, I've been helping take care of the now plethora of nieces and nephews in my family.
Professional babysitter.
Yeah. And then my dad is also a pastor. And so I have helped my mom. As I was growing up, I helped my mom in the nursery and Sunday school at church. And then as an adult, also helped in the nursery and Sunday school at church up until I came to Fusion, when I kind of a couple months in jumped right into helping in Sunday school. So Takuma Island. So I've kind of always had a heart for children, and I always knew in terms of healthcare that I wanted to work with kids. I don't like working with adults when it comes to healthcare. It's not my thing. And I knew that before I even went to nursing school. I knew it was kids. It's going to be kids. It's always going to be kids. So, I've always worked with kids.
So it's fairly likely that there could be somebody watching this, whether they're in the room on Sunday or they're watching online. They don't actually recognize you from, being on the platform at church or working with their teenagers, but actually they recognize you from a hospital room because you were the first one there when their baby was delivered. So
could be.
Yeah, so that's awesome. And so she's going to be piloting the team, and we're working on getting some dates together for existing team members to kind of share some best practices at Tiny Steps to get to interact with Hannah now as our new director, as well as setting up kind of a dinner for people interested in serving in the ministry to get to know her and get a sense of the vision for the ministry, and then also kind of nailing down a timetable of how soon we can get it up and rolling. And some of that rests in your hands, your willingness to serve and say, hey, I would commit to one worship gathering a month, serving in Tiny Steps, serving the families in our church. And I love your approach and your mindset regarding this being a family ministry, that we don't want ministry silos at Fusion where this is my thing and our space in the building. We want to see how all of this is connected and how all of this is meeting the needs of the entire church family, and how from a child being born to being a toddler to moving into Takuma, moving into the youth group, moving into young adulthood, and then into adulthood, whether they stay a part of Fusion that entire journey or they relocate, we want to see what's the role that they play in the greater family of God and what's the calling God has for us at that stage. So welcome, Hannah, to the team. It's awesome.